Welcome to TechMark Pod, where we innovate, discuss, and discover the dynamic intersection of technology and marketing. In each episode, we explore how businesses can leverage both to drive growth and innovation. Meet Alvin, our esteemed host for TechMark Pod. With over 15 years of experience as a renowned marketer, project manager, and software as a service architect, join us as we uncover the unique value proposition of integrating technology and marketing strategies, helping you stay ahead in this fast-paced digital world.
Hi everyone, welcome to TechMark Pod. And today we have Setu. Setu is a startup founder. And today we're going to talk about the importance of digital marketing for tech startups, which is something that is interesting, and I'm passionate about it because I'm a digital marketer, and Setu is also a digital marketer and a tech founder. We've got something in common. I don't know about the dreadlocks. I'm not so sure if I'm not so sure it's a thing about tech founders and
digital marketing and dreadlocks.
Marketing.
There's a correlation, and I think Bob Marley has something to do with it. But we'll see. We'll see.
I hope I don't feel eerie during this episode. I mean, sometimes we have lighter moments, but yeah, this is TechMark Pod, and Setu, welcome again. And I would like you to introduce yourself.
All right. Hi. My name is Setu Nzimande. I am the founder and co-founder and CEO of Collab, actually. So what Collab is a platform that me and my friends actually developed, being in the middle point of both creativity and tech ourselves, realizing that we need a platform that connects us all together to collaborate, because that's how most of us, especially when we're in the startup or creativity, we actually get things done is through creativity through collaboration. Over funding, over a lot. So we built a platform that kind of helps people collaborate, find others to create things from ideation to execution. That's where we're all around.
Okay, cool. So I want us to start from understanding how digital marketing elevates startups. Yourself, you have done well with Collabs.
Yeah.
I think take us a little bit of a history on when you started and what kind of maybe digital marketing tactics did you employ into Collabs until today?
Yeah. I think on my side, the journey of, I guess, digital marketing and Collab in itself kind of came first together from, number one, me being a creative in my own right, in terms of, how can I say, I love content creation. I love making videos and stuff. So for me, having a love of making videos and having a love of tech and creation, and realize that you can actually advance your brand, you can advance what problem you're trying to solve, and the audience that you're trying to tap into through the power of digital marketing, through the power of taking the camera or taking hold of the camera and saying something to it, as to actually connecting to your audience, even people that you don't even know. So with that, I think we first started out our journey actually talking about it. And we had this style called Here's the Story, where basically we just tell stories around entrepreneurial events that happen to us. When there's a funding competition that goes on, we tell the story. When there's an incredible networking event multiple ones that we attend, we tell the story and we connect people. And as a result, you're able to create a community under a product and under a brand that you're trying to figure out that, like, is this what my users want? So as a brand, we've already been adding value before the platform is even seen. So by the time it's ready, the time that it was market ready and it was able to access to the general public, we have a community who's ready to take on the journey with us and be in that understanding of, like, okay, it's not perfect, but here's what we'd want changed. And having that back and forth communication, especially with Collab ourselves, has been one of our core strengths and competitive advantages that allows us to, of course, grow ourselves, make the platform better, make the solution better, but then also just add value in other people's lives. And that's the power of digital marketing when it comes to that.
Okay, so let's talk about the pain points of a startup.
Yeah.
Right. I do believe that everyone can come up with a whole platform that does all sort of things, whether it's a fintech or whatever it is that you've come up with.
Yeah.
But there are always challenges when you talk about go-to-market.
Yeah.
And that's where digital marketing is coming in, is go-to-market, right?
Yeah.
So I want to talk about the pain points, and this from a lived experience of collabs, and possibly if you can take us through, what were the pain points in that process?
I think the pain points in terms of getting to market, number one, has to be on our side, especially as a tech startup, is if you don't have funding, if you don't have people who are I guess, who are paying the way for you to experiment, you're in a situation where you don't have the budgets to have an advertising spend. You don't have the money for cameras. You don't have that in itself. So as a startup, it's about, of course, every startup knows, every startup founder knows, it's about using what you have to create something more than in itself. So that's exactly where...
What is it that you had?
A camera.
You had a camera?
I had my phone.
In terms of digital marketing,
yeah,
what is it that you had that possibly made Collab a success?
I think I had my phone, I had my ability to explore, and that perspective of, oh, I don't know everything, and I'm on this journey to figure things out. And I know for a fact that there's other people who want to figure things out also and love seeing content around that.
Yeah.
So with the power of the camera, with the power of a team and the things that we're doing and the exploration and being able to capture all of that, Collab was allowed, or at least me and being part of Collab, my biggest contribution was opening ourselves up to allowing a community to take us in. And that's deep communities with entrepreneurs, small business, young entrepreneurs, and young creatives in itself, because they watch our stuff, they watch the journey that we've been on and the community that we're amassing. That is like, oh, okay, they're learning things while we're learning things in itself. And that's given us the power and the marketing prowess to be like, oh, okay, now we know what connects with our user acquisition. What our user acquisition strategy has to be. It's like we have to make more videos around the problem that we're solving, around the people and the problems that they solve in itself. So as a result, when our solution comes in, it's not like we're feeding them something new. They've been getting value from us. They've been getting value plugged, I guess, for different access to different things in creative space. But now it's like, oh, okay, now it's what they've built and what they've been working on, and they've been on our journey, on our side as a result. So I think when, as a tech founder, you have an idea that you want to solve, or a problem that you want to solve and an idea that you have in your head, it's about taking it out there as soon as possible to the people and being in front of their faces and being where they are as much as possible. And content allows you to not only be there for yourself, but be there for everyone who's trying to also get into your space.
Okay, so should I summarize this as content marketing?
Yeah.
Because you're doing content creation, basically, and you're storytelling and getting, you're getting more of your traffic due to these videos that you're doing around collabs until you get it today. Okay, cool. So probably someone out there was at a startup and is watching this podcast and he's wondering, okay, so do I need to start marketing? What do I need to do to understand digital marketing? Because if most of the people that come up with these ideas, they're most probably deaf people. But deaf people don't understand digital marketing most of the times. So what would be your advice? Do you think they need to study marketing?
I think they need to be in the space of having two avenues, or two different perspectives. First, understanding yourself and how much you're able to learn and acquire for yourself. like as a developer, if you know for a fact you hate the camera,
Yep.
you hate being at an exhibition, you hate selling in itself. It's about taking the avenue of humbling yourself and learning, or having someone and collaborating with someone who sees your vision, sees what you're trying to do, and has skills that complements you on the stuff that you lack in itself. For me, I have, within the team, there's my business partner, Hussein Ismail, and also Benny Melendez was Hloma. And the thing about Benny is that he's one of the deepest dev people that is like, yo, he knows exactly what he's always trying to do. Anytime I bring to him an idea, he knows exactly how to map out and create it. But in terms of now marketing it to the people that he wants and the communication, he doesn't have that. So he doesn't have that perspective. So us partnering, us collaborating together brought that eventuality of like, oh, by the time he was already done with the platform, there's a community of over 400, 400 signups and a community of 400 creatives who are ready for that solution. So as a founder, you need to have either you having the humbleness to get started and get learning and get experimenting, or the collaboration to someone who you know can actually tell your story and can bring it to life and bring that brand as well as that marketing journey and that marketing exchange, because that's what it is. Digital marketing is an exchange online, basically.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I like that. So let's say there's a startup founder who's watching again the episode, and then you'll be wondering, what did it say to study for him to be where he is at the moment?
Yeah.
Because I mean, already if you think about it, you're inspiring a young someone out there who wants to be a startup founder. Like, okay, what did you study?
Okay, first and foremost, I studied BCom in business management at University of Pretoria.
Yeah.
Which in itself, there were marketing modules that were there. There was a lot of other modules that were within it, from finance, HR, so many different things, even informatics and so many different things within the degree. Also, of course, there was marketing courses, but for me, majority of the education came from everything free, from the Udemy courses to YouTube and learning how people actually develop a skill of both digital marketing, of content creation, of storytelling for brands, and learning that on a continuous basis and experimenting that with ourselves and Collab. That's what gave me, I guess, the basis for Collab and what I bring to the team mostly.
That's interesting. I think that gives a perspective on where you are right now, to understand that possibly you are a person who understands tech and marketing.
Yeah.
So you see, you fit in TechMark Pod definition
mold,
as it is. So do you think there should be a correlationship between tech and marketing?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I feel like they can't go without each other.
Yeah.
In itself. Because of how expansive and loud and somewhat exciting marketing is.
Yeah.
Having tech, basically having it like as a non-negotiable, I think is one of the biggest drivers within a company, a tech startup in itself. That like if a tech department is extremely good at developing things, but isn't extremely good at selling what they're developing. Okay. And isn't extremely good as bringing to light and bringing to that stakeholder and customer engagement. If there's no balance within that, then you make something extremely great which nobody knows about. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So or no one cares about, even worse.
Definitely. So during your journey as a startup founder, do you have those aha moments, like you've reached a milestone that you can share with us?
Milestones or aha moments, because I feel like I think a milestone follows a aha,
Yeah.
but an aha is something experienced alone.
Yeah, okay.
So I'm asking you now, do you want me to dive into more of my, wow, okay, that clicked and I'm changed?
Yeah.
Or something incredible happened?
Let's have both, but let's start with the first one. like you
Okay,
said. Yeah.
aha. I think my aha moment had to be, I think the journey that I had before Collab.
Yeah.
Before Collab, me and my team actually, we had a previous idea that in ourselves we built and we created in ourselves, and no one can say that we failed because nobody knew it was out. Do you see the problem? Imagine that you
Yeah.
put hours and weeks and months into something that you
Yeah.
built and sent out, and no one knew it. The community, audience, all of that
No
never
one knew
connected.
it.
But then we realized that, I think my aha moment was definitely, the first one was definitely that power of, I can actually say something within the camera towards the audience that I want to engage with.
Okay.
And it has to be something of value. I literally got on camera and I told them about this idea that I had. That was just it. I told them I have this idea to bring creatives and entrepreneurs together to one event.
Yeah.
Like never before, a networking event like nothing. And we called it something for the dreamers, because creatives, entrepreneurs, tech developers are all dreamers. And we all wanted to have a space like that, if this was an event that we could actually encompass everybody and we could just collaborate and be on the same space with, how would that go about? I had that aha moment, posted the video, and it went crazy because so many people were like, I would love to have attended that. I would love to be there.
Yeah.
And so many people ended up like hitting us up saying that, man, we'd love to be a part of it in any way, shape, or form. We'd never hosted an event ourselves. We'd never done anything of that magnitude at all.
Yeah.
And then when we actually hosted it, we actually had such a collaborative journey from event managers saying, you got to do this, you got to talk to the sponsor, you got to, from the space to even the performers, them all coming together and them actually coming in. So then we realized that, creatives love to be in projects and doing interesting things, and we all have the same problems, like problems of getting paid, the problems of selling, the problems of managing our time and stuff. And we realized, snap, we're all one and the same.
One in the same boat, yeah.
And then when we created that and we had the event, and after the event, we had such a big community that was just always coming to us. And that allowed us now to build something for the people that we already knew. And as a result, that led to the creation of Collab.
Wow.
And then we had multiple different events with multiple different creatives, multiple different moments and exchanges. We had photo shoots. We had all of them just requiring the power of collaboration. And as a result, that's when the multiple milestones being achieved. So the biggest aha had to be the power to just collaborate and share an idea and share it in online. That's the power of tech and marketing in my own perspective.
No, that's powerful. That's powerful. Because I'm thinking this idea, it came up because of a need that you realized that we need a marketplace for the creatives and tech and founders, and basically Collabs was born.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Exactly that.
Okay, so I understand that your startup, which is Collabs, started during COVID in a way. That's when the idea came up, and of course there was an acceleration of use of technology, and people consume a lot of data by that time. And do you think possibly this could have actually helped or elevated Collabs in a way that COVID happened, and we had people glued to their screens, and they could possibly listen to you when you post a video?
I think it definitely did have a good effect in terms of, I think people's appetite to explore and learn That's the one really big legacy with online. Actually, that's one of the big legacies with COVID.
Yeah.
That it affected us as Africans. That we realized that, oh snap, like we can actually have a lot of power, not just from what we see, but what we can make.
Yeah.
Not on the highest level, not with high levels of investment.
Yeah.
Even the lowest level, that is like, oh no, I just have a small camera and this is what I want to talk about. And people actually creating careers off of that, as well as from fashion designers just making their designs and posting that up and posting their journeys and telling about it.
I think
and it allowed more people to now be open to be like, oh, I love this person's videos.
Yeah.
I wonder what I know that he does this in fashion. I feel like I can reach out to them.
Yeah.
But they were not going to reach out if they weren't online.
If they weren't
posting their videos.
Definitely.
Yeah. So I think, I don't know if I'm answering the question, but yeah, for me, I
that's
love
correct. I understand what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I understand the passion that you're talking about and how things happened so fast just during COVID and after COVID.
Yeah.
For creatives alike, you know. So in digital marketing space, we had a rise of influencers in South Africa. They rose during COVID. One of them being Tyler.
Yeah.
So we had a rise of so many influencers. Do you think you were almost like a tech influencer by then? And these were almost, I mean, we had other influencers influencing consumable brands and all the stuff that was happening. Do you think possibly you were like a tech influencer because you could just post about tech and all that stuff?
I think I was more of an entrepreneurial influencer more than anything.
Yeah.
Because on my side, I always just posted about what I was learning and where I was going.
Yeah.
And telling stories around that, in a sense, not always in the deepest level of tech in itself, but in the level of more entrepreneurship and marketing.
Yeah.
I took my time when it came to, I guess, spewing advice.
Yeah.
Because I felt like it was coming from a shallow place if I didn't know myself. Like I didn't have, for example, the experience that you have for the multiple years being in digital marketing and being towards the whole evolution.
Yeah.
So it was like my thing where I was consuming and I was sharing what I was like, I guess, learning, not what I knew, because I knew that I didn't know everything or a lot.
So you learned a lot.
Hey? Yeah, just learned more and explained what I was experiencing more than anything. Because, yeah, I never got into more on education, in a sense, just about storytelling. That's where I dived into. I do want to get into a point of comfort of being like, you know what, let me actually get into a point of sharing now that I'm learning this, and now this is the steps, this is the 7 things, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But now from that coming from an experienced place with us as a team of multiple experience of freelancing and dealing with clients and retainers and journeys and having to meet results and create reports and now this is coming from an experienced place. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because there needs to be that gap of knowledge acquiring, transferring that knowledge into experience.
Yeah.
And while you're creating that experience, creating content around that experience, and then maybe now while you're in it, now talking about, now you can tell a person how to truly grow their account, how to truly grow their connection to their audience and the community engagement. Yeah. So yeah, that's how I would take it.
Let's quickly talk about digital marketing tools that a startup founder can explore.
Yeah.
Just to use for their startup.
Yeah.
Which tools do you think they can use? I'll start, for example, WordPress. Right. We use WordPress for web development.
Yeah.
And I'm a WordPress enthusiast.
Yeah.
I'm a I'm passionate about. I actually build websites
Yeah.
using WordPress, and I think it's one software that you can use just to create your first website.
Yeah.
As a startup. Oh.
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I have a juxtaposed perspective when
Yeah.
it comes, or actually no, a software that for me has changed my whole thing, because
Yeah.
on my side I also build websites for clients, and especially on Collab Business we do that in itself.
Yeah.
But we use, I don't know if you're familiar with Framer.
No, I'm not familiar with it.
Oh my days.
Tell me about it.
That Framer.
Yeah.
Okay, let me actually give you the full suite of marketing tools
Yes,
that we use.
that's what I
that
wanna hear.
changes all of our stuff.
Yeah.
Number one, Framer.
Yes.
For website develop. If you search the collab.site,
Yeah.
you will see the most in-depth, animated, and brought together website that is like, you're like, yo, someone has to be deeply experienced within this to have developed such a thing.
Yeah.
Yet Framer allows for that in itself with minimal, like, I guess, coding and outside integration required.
Yeah.
Next thing is Canva. Yeah. You know,
I mean, it's a no-brainer.
it's a no-brainer. And then the next thing is Canva on graphic design. Next thing is, of course, ChatGPT.
Yeah.
And using, I guess, two AI models or AI generative models.
Yeah.
ChatGPT or Perplexity. Perplexity to research,
Yeah,
ChatGPT to like maybe condense and stuff. CapCut to turn that condensed information into, of course, maybe carousel posts, article, graphic designs. I'm giving our whole play, basically. And then what else is there? What other tools do we? Oh yes, CapCut. For editing.
Yeah, CapCut or video editing. Yeah.
For video editing.
Yeah.
Doesn't need to be Adobe. Doesn't need to be that in-depth thing. CapCut in itself allows you to edit all the things that you need for I guess a tech startup founder.
Yeah.
And all these platforms have entry level information that you need.
Like free. They're
It's
free.
free.
There's free for
all of them are free.
Entry level, then of course you pay for
for
certain,
more advanced features and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
But also at the same time, the entrance to knowing, like you could go 3 hours and you know how to edit. Not even 3 hours.
Yeah.
I think in 90 minutes you know how to edit a video. In 90 minutes you know how to Canva, you know how to create graphic designs for yourself and for your brand and everything that you need. You know how to prompt engineering, you know how to do maybe with Perplexity, you know how to do more research and information bringing in for more, I guess, content marketing that you'd want to do. What else? Framer, you'd be plugging all the ChatGPT landing pages that you'd like ask them to like write up for you into Framer.
Yeah.
And you don't need to have a in-depth with all of these things, but you can push yourself past the point of 0 to a point of maybe one or 3. That of course can be picked up by professionals, but you wouldn't be paying from the jump. You'd be doing the most that you could without the most amount of effort per se.
Yeah.
And that's why I think we have the best time in the world to be digitally marketing ourselves.
Exactly. I think all this that you're talking about, if you look at all those apps, they rose just after COVID or during COVID time.
Yeah, and they really picked up.
We spent a lot of time on internet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then they just went wild. You know what I mean? So talking of, I think that's almost like what you gave is like a toolkit for a founder to be able to then accelerate their startup.
Yeah.
Basically.
I think
digital marketing. Yeah.
Basically, it's a tool that will allow founders to step up their digital creativity.
Yeah.
Because that's what I feel like I'm a huge advocate for.
Yeah.
Having a level of digital creativity from the way that you present yourself to the things that you're actually being a full-on advocate for.
Yeah.
is one of the best things that you can do for yourself and your startup as a founder.
I want to quickly touch about funding, right, for startups. So if you notice in the past 2-3 years, maybe 4 now, there's been a lot of funding for startups in South Africa that has been mentioned in the media.
Yeah.
I don't know how much access have you got to that, but there's been AWS, Google, Microsoft, and everybody has been talking about this whole millions that are putting into South Africa for funding startups. Have you had any exposure to any of those things?
I've had a lot of exposure into I guess the funding world, especially for tech startups. In my perspective, in my opinion, this is both for me being a founder, but then also having, I guess, mentors and associates who work in VC and like actually investing in startups. It's that a lot of early stage VCs are, I guess, pulling out.
Okay.
Which is something that's been noticed from 2022. I think 2022, there was a huge dip in terms of now a lot of funding coming to us, especially in the early stages, to the point that now people are fighting for it through, of course, the competitions and stuff like that. But there isn't a lot of full-on lifelines now because there's so many VCs, early stage VCs that are closing down, but growth stage VCs are bigger than they've ever been. But they're having the issue of there's not a lot of startups in their pipeline that are both compliant, are able to take in the money, and are able to truly use the funds for the best amount of value. Like that's the thing that we struggled with on our side, realizing that when we come to VCs, we weren't ready. Because it's like by the stage that we came in saying that, no, we have even though we do the most, we've done the most, there would be things that we're missing on our side, which pushes, especially South African VCs, are not that willing to be putting too much money into early stage startups because they've been in the stage of burn. I think there was the rise and the peak of tech early stage VCs, especially around 2020, 2021, where it's like, you have an idea and stuff, we can fund that.
Yeah.
That doesn't exist as much as they used to anymore, unfortunately.
It's tough as such, yeah.
But I think the requirement of funding, when we're actually truly honest with ourselves as VC, as tech founders, it's now been easier than ever. Because of all the stages, all the marketing tools that we've just discussed that can also help so many different other avenues and other sections of companies. It's actually cheaper now to start than it ever has been.
Definitely.
But it's one of those things where it requires us having more time and dedication to using these tools. Like, for example, you do not need to necessarily hire a graphics designer to start.
Yeah.
You don't need to hire a video editor to start making videos per se.
Yeah.
But it's just about getting past the point of point 0 or point 1 that now these wouldn't be enough, or these need to be handled by someone who can really take it up to the levels that you need them to.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things where it's easier, it's cheaper now to get to actually we need less money, but we need more time dedication towards towards making our startup ideas into fundable and investable companies. This is something that really it hurt me most importantly, because I thought especially beginning of last year that I was like, we have this community, we have an idea that is really of value. We have we have the experience as a team from our different avenues, me being from more creative avenues, while my rest of my team is in business and marketing, business and development. Shouldn't we get funding now? Yet in actuality, the funding scenario and the funding landscape is so changed for early stage startups. Now they're always asking me, okay, now we get all that you've done now and all the hype and everything that you've developed now, which isn't easy to do. How much revenue have you generated? Those are the questions that are being asked in the early stage funding landscape. And that's where we're like, well, can you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Where in actuality now, it's about us, I guess, thinking smarter as tech startups, as founders, in terms of what's the quickest way that I can make this startup, this idea, into a full-on sellable factory line business. When I mean by factory line, I don't mean by brick and mortar.
Yeah.
I mean by, I know how I'm going to get money, I know how I'm going to give the value back, and I know how to like track that and make it something that can scale over time, whether it's subscriptions, whether it's enterprise servicing and creating full suites and all of that. But it's about making the business come closer than building the startup.
Okay, so we're almost at the end of our episode or our conversation.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't want us to end without maybe quickly talk about Collabs and how they can reach out to you or reach out to Collabs, how they can be part of the community.
Yeah.
You know, and how they can reach out to you as well, where they can find you.
Yeah. I think just to like, I guess, create a good segue into like actually Collab. The reason also why we wanted, or reason why we felt the need, especially South Africa and all of like the SADC region of Africa in itself, that we found that the need for collaboration, as like collaboration is the thing that allows for us to need less funding and to create more value. And that's where we realized that, we need a platform. We want to build a platform that facilitates that for an industry that is underserved, yet is highly fundamental, which is creative industry.
Yeah.
Knowing the amount of people that are being servicing in the creative industry, how huge it is, especially within South Africa, from photographers, filmmakers, fashion designers, advertising. So much of the creative industry is involved with our economy in itself. Yet there isn't a lot of tools to harness that, but there's a lot of tools to extract it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of tools like the Instagrams of the world that shows the output, but there's nothing that's showing or helping you with the process. That's where Collab comes in.
Okay.
We wanted Collab now to be the thing that allows for creatives to now connect to creating the projects they always have wanted to create. Whether it's people wanting to start, I guess, creative agencies and photography and videography production companies. Whether it's creating those, whether it's creating, connecting collaborators to making the ideas that they've always wanted in itself, because having creative entrepreneurs is one of the best tools, or the best people to work with as a tech startup. So we built Collab to allow for founders, entrepreneurs, SMMEs to find collaborators, to find the projects that they want to get done on their side, to even pay them in itself.
Okay.
So that's Collab as the idea that allows people to find collaborators, and manage the projects, because that's a whole other thing. Having a collaborator and managing the project.
So all that happens on Collabs.
All that happens on Collab.
So it's a marketplace.
It's a marketplace and project management tool.
Oh, that's amazing stuff.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I think one of the pain points when you are a startup is, getting a project management tool. It's quite expensive as a startup. So I think if Collabs does that, I mean, that's amazing.
Yeah.
So how do people sign up?
So easy. So right now we're live on iOS.
Yep.
So people can download Collab through there. And on our social media, we actually have links for our closed testing on Android, actually.
Okay.
So people can actually just go log on, search the Collab app on Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, and actually just join and be a part of the whole I guess the movement that we've now created with our community through our own creativity and our digital marketing skills.
No, amazing stuff. I'm really inspired with the work you and the team have put in to get to where Collabs is at the moment, which is quite inspiring. And I'm sure you've inspired someone who is possibly dreaming. We are dreamers, like you said.
Yeah.
We are dreamers. So possibly a little dreamer there has been inspired to come up with a startup. And I think this summarizes our discussion with the importance of digital marketing for tech startups. You know. I think I would like to thank you for coming through and having this conversation with me. I'm often like an old school digital marketing guy, and you are almost like a new school, and we are actually collaborating and meeting somewhere. You know what I mean? So Setu, it's been a pleasure talking to you, and I'm sure we will have another conversation again. This is not the last conversation. This was the first, almost like the beginning of a long whole journey.
No, I'd love it, Alvin. Now, I think you being as experienced as you are, and being now in the state of now sharing this information and connecting people, especially online, and capturing it from the amount of, I guess it's a testament of the amount of care that you have for this field and this topic, because there's a lot of people who are doing extremely well, such as yourself, in digital marketing, but aren't in the space to actually sharing that, which is such a shame. So like on your side, I think the amounts of effort that you're putting in and the time, I think it's incredible.
Thank you.
And I can't wait to see how far, I guess, this podcast actually grows to.
Definitely.
And the value that a lot of other people extracted, and we would have loved to have heard back when we were starting.
Definitely. No, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Thank you, everyone. Don't forget to subscribe. See you on the next episode.